Hello, I'm back. Did you miss me? I'm sorry that it took this video so long to get out because I actually finished the sketchbook in January 2020 and I was just so busy with college that I could never find the time to film the video. But safe to say, now I have plenty of free time. So here it is. And let's get going. Let's get this over with. So on this first page, we have sort of my little wall of self-portraits, shall we call them. These are all just little doodles of myself that I did mostly in the margins of my notes when I was at college to express my feelings. You may get the sense that college was a very stressful time for me, and that's true. That's true, and this is how I coped. You may remember from prior sketchbook videos that I was really into Pacific Rim. Can confirm, even though the sketchbook was also finished in January 2020, as of July 2020, definitely still very much into Pacific Rim, so you'll see more of that. This is a drawing of Amanda Palmer, and this is a wristband from a time I got to see her live do like a little mini set to promote her new album, There Will Be No Intermission, or at least it was her newest album at the time. This is Horse Dog, who I created because I like horses and I like dogs, and I wanted to put them together and make a very good animal. And a lot of people do not like Horse Dog. They see his big horrible mouth and they're like, oh my god, ew, I hate it, it's so cursed, oh my god, it's so... Oh, and like I get that internet has made us react to that, but frankly, please don't be mean to Horse Dog, because I like him very much, and it makes me sad when people are like, oh my god, it's so gross, cursed, blah. This is fan art for Hieronymus Bosch, because in all of his paintings he usually has these little dudes, these little creatures in the background, like, you know, in his triptychs in the Garden of Earthly Delights, and I love those little guys, so I filled up a whole page with some of my favorites. Although probably my ultimate favorite is this little guy, this little toad fairy. God, he's perfect. This is some design and then story illustrations for my old Stars Without Number character, Taiki. It's from a Stars Without Number game that I played about a year ago. It is now over. It ended completely naturally. It was very fun. She had a pet grub, and halfway through the campaign, got her face blew up. More character stuff for my character Harlow, who is a vampire and an Instagram influencer. They have a lot of wigs, so I had fun just fucking around and drawing hair. And then this is what I thought their room would look like. And the human skull on the dresser is the real thing, and shall we say, not ethically sourced. These are my Phantom of the Opera pages because it's my favorite musical. It has been my favorite musical ever since I first saw it in 8th grade. That was like 2014, I guess. And so this brochure is actually from the first time I ever saw the show. And this ticket is from the most recent time I saw the show, which was April 2019. I'm not just into the musical only. I really also like the book, which is sort of what this illustration is for. It's like a mashup of the musical version with the feathered hat and the sparkly cape, but I also wanted to use the golden eyes and the full face mask from the original novel, because it's just genuinely a very good book. I highly recommend you read it, even if you don't like the musical or anything. Like, I would recommend it had I never ever seen the musical. It's a good book. This is some more Starfinder, not Starfinder, sorry, Stars Without Number. I said Starfinder because I'm in a Starfinder game right now, but Stars Without Number is the old game, and that's what this art is from. This is just you know, a nice illustration and some in-game doodles of stuff that happened during the campaign. This is both of these actually are pages of my character, my one character, Jax. And this specifically is the cover for a comic that never was, or rather, it's a comic that I made, just a little 9-page mini comic that I did, and I had planned, I wanted to get it printed, like professionally, and then maybe sell copies of that or something, like physical copies. But I waited too long to actually start putting in the legwork for that to happen, that by the time I was in a position to do it, I no longer was satisfied with the original comic. And I mean, I still like it, and I still think it was good for the time, but it's no longer like the standard of my art. So this lonely cover lives on. And this, however, is a tradition of mine that for the past, 6 years, I've redrawn the exact same picture, this exact illustration, but you know, slightly different, because I get better at art every year, hopefully. So I haven't actually done, this was from last year, I haven't actually done 2020's version, so I really ought to get on that soon. Now, I did warn you that you would see more Pacific Rim in this sketchbook, and I'm making good on my promise, because here we have a Jaeger, which in an alternate universe would be piloted by my best friend and I. Her name is Ladybird Reaper, and she's got some goth eye makeup. She's red and black, she's very much our vibe, and her little symbol is, of course, a goth girl. So yes, I wanted to challenge myself, you know, because I don't usually draw robots, so I wanted to see if I could, and I think I can. So that's nice. That's a nice thing to know. This is a page mostly of my werewolf character, Fenella, who's from West Virginia, and just, you know, trying out some different, I was trying out some India ink brushes with watercolor, because India ink is waterproof, so I wanted to really test that and see if I could make something with both markers and watercolors that would look nice, and I could. It's very fun, actually. I sort of dropped the ball on watercolors. I was very into watercolors while doing this sketchbook, and now I don't really do them anymore, and I should, because I need to practice and get better at them. But yes, just some watercolor stuff, and some Posca stuff, and some bits of plant matter, some flower petals from my friend M, and this, I don't even know what this is. I couldn't tell you what this is. Is it like lichen? Is it seaweed? I have no idea. M, tell me what it is. This is obviously a collage that I made myself by hand, just sort of apocalypse themed. And even though I did this before the Good Omens TV show came out, I did put them together because it seemed fitting. But yes, this was done pretty soon after the Good Omens TV show aired. I want to make it clear. because I'm insufferable about things like this. But I liked Good Omens before it was cool. I have a terminal case if I liked it before it was cool disease, and I really need to make sure that you know that I liked this. But even so, I thought it was a good show, and it was good to the spirit of the book, and I'm really glad that it was able to get people into a book that I think is still one of my favorite books ever. So yes, Good Omens. This was me trying out acrylic paint. I think this was one of the first acrylic paintings I ever did, and of course, because I'm ex-Catholic, it had to be Our Lady of Sorrows. You know, I have a brand and I stick to it. What can I say? But yes, I'm very satisfied with this, especially because it was like my first shot at anything, you know, with this media. So, with this medium. Now this is my persona. Wouldn't say that I identify as a member of the furry community exactly, but I did I did grow up with the culture in that, like, you know, some of my first online communities were on DeviantArt, and even though I never really was like a furry artist, I always have preferred drawing people. I followed a lot of furry artists, and they were all really nice people, and I always thought that the idea of like a little guy who's an animal but also you is very cute. So I made myself a little persona. It's an aardwolf because, you know, I think their little markings, their little eye markings look like glasses or like eyeliner, which are both things that I wear. And they like bugs, and I like bugs, although for different reasons probably. And they're nocturnal, and my therapist is really on my case about my sleep schedule, so we're basically the same thing, you know? I really like making collages, but they're some of the most labor intensive, or at least time intensive things that I do. You know, I'm very fast when it comes to drawing, but every time I make a collage, like one of this size, it takes like 3 hours min. But I'd like to do them more than I do. I have hordes of collage materials just waiting to be used, you know, just squirreled away. And this was, I think it was like, I did a request sort of thing, where it was like, give me a plant or a fungus, and I'll draw it to I'll draw it in this giant sort of, you know, heavily detailed thing. These are all freehanded, by the way. And I sort of just, you know, would start drawing them randomly and fill in space as I went along. And it was, again, that also took a very long time. But it was very fun, and I'm really satisfied with this, and I want to do something like it. You know, maybe not with plants and fungi, but something that's just very busy, black and white, you know, free-handed thing. I don't know. I'll think about it. Some more Pacific Rim here, just so you know. Horses, horse dog, clowns, Jimmy Aaron of Mindless Self-Indulgence, and also on this side of the page we have a couple of party poisons, because I was very active in the Danger Days side of my chem fandom in like 2016, 2017. And I made a lot of art for that, and I've sort of like moved on from it. I guess I'm not so active in it anymore, but I still harbor just a lot of love for the character of Party Poison and all the Killjoys, but especially Party Poison. So I don't know, I was feeling nostalgic, and I wanted to redraw my special guy. This is my sexy page, but it's also kind of my Piero the Clown page, so make of that what you will, I guess. Alright, so this is the last page. It's, you know, it's not a particularly impressive last page, I'll admit that. It's just a bunch of angel doodles and some random shapes. But it is my last page, and it's what you'll have to deal with, because the sketchbook tour is over. I'm sorry, again, that it took so long for me to get it up. Hopefully, the next one, you know, my current sketchbook that I've been using, I'll get a video for that up, you know, in less than a year. Less than, like, what, 15 months, I think? It may come out really soon, you know? Maybe taking so long on this one means that I've saved up enough time to do the next one really, really fast. You know, maybe. Probably not, but maybe. Yeah. Thank you all for sticking around despite my heinous upload schedule. Again, sorry, but like, this isn't my career, so I give you what I can. And I hope you'll keep sticking around, because I like to show you guys my stuff. This is goodbye for now. Oh, what's this? Oh my god! It's another sketchbook! Okay, this is a bonus content for you, which is this little teeny sketchbook that I made myself. This was like at the beginning of quarantine, actually, and it was part of a challenge by Amber Mars Art, who also has a YouTube channel, which I guess I should link now. So hit up Amber. She's got a much more professional YouTube channel than I do. But yes, I did this myself using stab binding, you know. I'll admit, it's not particularly great, but it was an excuse for me to cover something in stickers, and that's always fun. I actually very quickly found out that I greatly prefer making little books to filling them in, but I did manage to get through all the pages from this. So here they are. First we have this little angel. It's actually based on oysters. Because you know what? I can find the beauty in everything. I can find divinity. I can see God in anything. In this case, it was oysters. This is a tiny Susie of Susie and the Banshees. And yes, I did spill tea on this sketchbook, and it literally made me cry because it sort of smeared the line because I didn't use waterproof marker. And it was a weird period of my life. I was very emotional, and this did make me cry. Probably wouldn't make me cry now. We have some quince flowers here. Just a thing, just a girl, just, you know, a person. This was a slow page for me, sort of just trying to fill things up as quickly as possible, because I got disillusioned with this sketchbook. These pages I do like. It's, you know, mushrooms and a snail, and then a worm, and then what's going on is, I think, still pretty applicable, you know. Oops, I missed a page. Yes, okay. I've been sort of, like, powering through my movies to watch list, and, you know, on that list was, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. And, so I watched it and drew while I was watching it, because I liked the visuals. And my review is it ain't that good of a movie from like a plot standpoint, but from a visual standpoint, it ruled. It ruled, and I did like to draw it. Another one of the movies was, naturally, Bride of Frankenstein. So, I drew that as well. This is, okay, now this is for real the end. I don't have any smaller sketchbooks underneath this one. This is all you get. And so I'm not gonna say all the other stuff again. Like, ooh, blah, blah, blah. I'm just gonna say, goodbye! Thanks for coming!